Well, we did say this was going to get painful, and it is. Let's go through what's going to happen here. Again, at catcher, Maurice Burnett, he's got 1 year left on his deal. Mesa has one minor league option left. This is basically Maurice Burnett's final season here. He has been very, very good since being moved to catcher, but Hitoki Sato, unless he shits the bed this year, is our guy. So Mesa will go down to triple. He will be with David Sung, and we're going to run Gonzalez and Machado at catcher, both moved over from first base. They'll be in Double-A. First base, Fodor Lopez, easy enough. We will run Joe Dale with Terrell Ford. Actually, Joe Dale will be the lone AAA first baseman. We're going to run Ford and Weller. No, we're not. Let's have Terrell Ford be the AAA starter. Joe Dale can still be in AAA, but yeah. And then that way Weller can be the AA starter. Estrada needs more time. Second base is going to be pretty much just Reyna. Leon's going down. Hinojosa is going down. He'll have to clear waivers. Third base, Lowry's got one option left. Gutierrez is certainly going down. And then shortstop, Lewis McCall didn't quite cut it as the backup last year. He's got one option. We'll drop him. And then it's down to Edmonds or Hahn. It might be Peter Edmonds that gets the chance at the major league level. And then the outfield, Timko, Fritas, Werdekemper, Gaudio going down. Luis Mortero going down. Let's sim a few days. We didn't lose anybody on waivers, which is good. Which is very, very good. In terms of the pitching, Smoove is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 tops in terms of relievers. I do not trust Irizarry or Torero whatsoever. And we still have to give some of these guys another chance. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Casilla would have to go through waivers, but he was terrible last year, so let's just risk it. Garcia was awesome. I'm not willing to risk him on waivers. Reggie Black got one chance and didn't do much, but I don't really want to lose him. This is Espinosa's final option. Chad Jones, his final option. These two are major leaguers next year no matter what. It's Eddie McCann's final option. Like, this is it. Like, this is the last chance for the bulk of these guys on this team. Fucking get it done or get out. That is the only way to sum it up. I gotta wait for those waivers to go through to get the full picture. We are gonna lose Adrian Casilla on waivers. He is off to one of the Chicago teams. Good riddance. Good riddance. Not a big loss whatsoever. So our roster still has 2 players too many. And for the most part, we don't have that many options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, that works with those 2 shortstops. Maybe we just keep Hahn and Edmonds both on the roster because we want to know what they're capable of. Like, screw a second baseman at this point. The extra third and Lowry. Let's just stick with Hahn and Edmonds on the major league roster and see what happens. That's fine by me. So second base, it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. Chan's definitely in single A. McLeod will be the AA starter with Roberts behind him. Bonilla will be the AAA starter with Leon behind him. Hinojosa's going to single A. We brought him on his depth, and that's all he is right now. Third base, Oliver Perez is definitely the starter there. Ronan Lowry was fucking good, though. We'll have Lowry as the AAA starter with Gutierrez. Perez will be the AA starter with Gaucho. And then, yeah, we don't really have much faith in Chris Clements at this point. Shortstop, McCall in AAA. Tanaka and Martin in double. That's fine. And then the outfield, let's do anybody over 60 is in triple. Anybody over 50 is in double. And see where that gets us. See where that gets us. Including Gilberto Herrera, the worst draft pick of all time. Of course. Triple A would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Double A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So Herrera goes down. Perez deserves to play based off of potential. Honestly, most of these guys do. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll see if we can have each team carry that many outfielders. It's going to be a little bit risky. So starters, we do have to make a decision. Who stays and who goes? I don't want to lose Torero, but he was brutal last year. I can't imagine Jose Irizarry is going to clear waivers. I do not care. Let's find out. I do not care. He just hasn't been good enough to justify keeping around. And we're going to send down one of those shortstops. Let's send down Hahn. I think he'll benefit from a little bit of extra time in AAA, and we'll have Peter Edmonds on the roster. That gets the Major League to 26. We're carrying a lot of pitchers because we got to see who's actually going to get it done. Shocker, we have lost Irizarry on waivers. I got to be honest, I am not upset in the slightest. So, goodbye, Mr. Irizarry. I will not shed a single tear for you. Thank you very much. So, triple, triple, double, double. Triple, that's good. Hina-Yosin, single A, that's fine. Lowry Gutierrez, Gaucho Perez, that's fine. Triple, triple, double, double. So it's the pitching situation. It still has to be sorted. So Tan in double A. We do have a shortage of pitchers. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do what we can to solve that through use of pitchers. There is a real shortage for us of double A players. We're going to have to sign a bunch of double A relievers. Not the first time. Let's just sign a bunch of double A relievers to help fill out that roster, which means that team's going to be terrible. They're going to have no bullpen whatsoever. But it is what it is, and it's a sacrifice worth making. I mean, it's not like they'd have that many pitchers anyway. And there we go. Perfect. So we are at 26 apiece, just as we prefer. We've lost some people. We're going to continue to lose some people. Really quickly, the contract extensions that are due up. And outside of Torero, who has his 3 arbitration years, we'll just get him signed up now. Every single one of these players, big boy contracts. Except for Pena, my God. He has 1 year left of arbitration time. That's insane. Let's just see if we can get him to sign it. 2.3. Wants a longer deal. We are actually going to have to go to arbitration with Pena, but that's not that bad. And then, yeah, Pena's going to want a big boy deal. We already kind of know what that situation is. So skip through just to make sure there were no other waiver claims. So here we go. First and foremost, nobody on the injured list. That's good. Did we lose any scouts? No, we did not. We did last year, by the way. In terms of the pitching staff, because this is going to be a weird one. Esposito and Smoove will be set up in closer as our 2 best from last year. Gil, Garcia, Trujillo, Adlene, Dyer. Those were our best 5 last year in that order, with the exception of a certain alleged ace who just went to Colorado. That's the setup for the year. Again, we just have way, way, way too much talent to dick around and be like, well, this guy's a high rating, so we have to keep him. No, we don't. Tommy Tan is the closer. Let's go Matsumoto as the setup man. And hopefully they get into some of those situations where they actually get a little bit of action. So yeah, this is the stuff I normally do off stream because, hey, might not be the most exciting all the time, but it is what it is. Let's get Moya on as the long reliever. Get Burdick and Mortero at the top. There we go. So that's all set. Lineup-wise, in what is sure to be a bit of a shit show.
I'm just trying to watch.
How do we want to do this? Shout out to Dr. Coctor on the follow. You love to see it. Hell of a name. Welcome in. Somebody has to get left out of this lineup right now, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Unless we take out Reyna, which honestly we're going to. Sato at catcher. Burnett at first. We'll play Lopez at second. Fodor at third. McCann shortstop. And that way we get everybody into this lineup that we would prefer to be in the lineup. Let's have Werdekemper and Co. lead off. We'll have Freitas batting third. Get Burnett and Pena in there. Pretty much just treat it off of overall, which should be fine. So it is Werdekemper, Timko, Freitas, Pena, Burnett, McCann, Sato, Fodor. But that leaves DJ Liss out of the lineup, and is that what I want? Ah. Somebody has to get left out of the lineup. I hate to tell you, Lopez, it's actually going to be you. Pure desperation, it's going to be you. Freitas, Pena, Burnett, McCann. Shout out to Carnett, Titan, Sato, Liss, Fodor.
Really unnecessary. That with the Patriots jacket, and of course he's been asked to leave the ball game for ruining a good piece of pizza.
Sato, catcher, Burnett at first, Fodor at third, List there. That looks good to me. Just wanted to say I've never seen you as happy when you started playing tape to tape. It was glorious. Well, did you see what happened afterwards? It was very fun at the start until we started to discover some of the issues. Espinoza, Chad Jones, still top 5 prospects. And outside of Andreas Mesa, Hideki Matsumoto shortens up a little bit. I still want to go back to tape. I'm just trying to decide how much time I want to give the devs to kind of fix some of the things that bug me a little bit more. We'll let the AAA and AA lineups sort themselves out. This team should make the playoffs again. That is not a question. This team missing the playoffs would be an absolute disaster of immense proportions. We have the 25th pick in the draft this year, which is not ideal, but we got to deal with it. Looking forward to catching up then. 2, 3, 4. We have 4 catchers in the top 100. 2, 3, 4 first basemen in the top 100. 2, 3, 4 second basemen in the top 100. No third baseman in the top 100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shortstops. 1, 2, 3, 4 left fielders. 2, 3, 4, 5 center fielders. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right fielders. Cool. Well, we are going to start off with pitching. And then that way we know what positions we're going to next, or at least the ones that we're going to prioritize, given that we don't have time to look at everything. 3-5 record to start the year. It's early. We won't panic yet. Just somewhat panicking. It's fine. Everything's great. 6-9, not very nice. Not very nice. Maybe not looking like a team that's hungry for redemption for pooping the bed. Good job there to get back to 12-10. And closers, Central, East, and International to round out our first go-around on pitching. 15-13, looking a little bit inconsistent, I think is the best way to put it. The A is a good candidate for a draft of glory. They're the best candidate for a draft of glory. Easily. Shortstop, center, and right are our next locations. Starting off in right. Central. Along with the west. And then east. There we go. It just sucks because like I have to care about the draft, but all I want to do is just get back to the playoffs. And it's like, my God, can we win once we're there? Can we win? Right field International. Let's go center field West and center field Central. Yeah, the A's are easily the best rebuilder team right now because, I mean, Jesus. An abysmal team. You could shout out the Royals, but they have some decent starting pieces. Center field East, center field International. And after that, shortstops had the next highest amount in the top 100. We'll focus on them. As we continue to be a decent team, we shrugged off the bad start. We're still not nearly as good. Nationals are a good one, too. A lot of people shout out the Nationals. And rightfully so. Come on now. Yes, there we go. That was a good week. 32-21, game and a half back of the Brewers. All right, we're done with shortstops. Let's look in left. Second and first. Let's go back over left fielders in the west. In the Central, left fielders in the East. 41 days out from the draft. Up to 36-23, still trailing the Brewers in the division. But we are hot on their tails. Second base. West. Central. Got the scouting down to a science for the most part, except last year when I didn't realize we had the 7th pick and wasn't as hands-on as I should have been to make sure we avoided disaster. We'll get the first base scouting in there too. Another pretty good week for us. We're a half a game up. Brewers have a game at hand. But we are a half a game up on Milwaukee. Did a good job of shrugging off a very bad start. Very bad start indeed. Okay, another good week for us. We are dead even with the Brewers. Hate it here. Hate it here, hate it here. Catchers get top priority now. Catcher West. Catcher Central. Catcher East. So we are almost to another draft. Decent week for us again. We're going to go catcher International. And then take a look at who our scouts think are the biggest surprises to find out more about them for who might be available at 22. So let's look at Aldo Ayala at first base. And let's look at Brian Sawyer, the starter. We'll go for those two. Let's save really quickly, too, because I'm willing to just let it be. The draft, yet again, the 2046 draft. God help me. The 2046 draft. I can't believe it. How has it gotten to this point? How? Here we go. Here we go. Chicago, St. Louis, and Baltimore with the top 3 picks. We'll see who the Cubs take first overall. Of course, we were a little bit more hands-off with this draft because, hey, we don't have a high pick, so why get overly invested? The Cubs take Tom Yeager, starting pitcher who was projected 98th with the first overall pick. Don't forget about Chicago's Tom Yeager when we check for the best players overall. What a that might be the biggest reach we've seen for the first overall pick. That's nuts. Cardinals at 2 take Nathan Cheney. I refuse to pronounce it Cheney, but it might be. #1 projected pick, the first baseman. Never thought this franchise would go almost to the 100-year anniversary of the We Are Family Pirates. Baltimore, 3rd overall, selects Richie Dillard, another starting pitcher. He was projected 33rd. All right, let's skip ahead. Pick number 25. Who's available for us here? We have Rich Hernandez, a closer. Eddie Lopez. Now, keep in mind, we have pick 36 as well. Alexi Chavez. A couple of 67s to 98s. Bunch of 65s. We might be double dipping for relievers. 69 to 90, 66, 97. Yeah, we might be double dipping here. There's Geraldo Vasquez. Our scouts. Not quite locked in. Not well, catcher, because we're still playing this. All right. Well, it's either we take the risk for the 66 to 98s or we deal with the hand that was dealt to us. 78, 94. Honestly, this dude's potential starting overall is fucking insane. For that reason, we are going to take reliever Eddie Lopez. We do need a new batch of relievers, especially now that Irizarry has departed the team. So let's go for Eddie Lopez and hope that Hernandez is still there. He is not. So hopefully we pick the right reliever. 74-95. We will also go for Geraldo Velasquez, I should say, to get a couple of new relievers onto the team. All right, round 2. Looks like we might be going for the 67 to 98s. Rodrigo Hinojosa, I mean, we do need a natural catcher, but he is hurt. So if we are now factoring in 67s to 98s, even 66 to 97s, Espinosa at shortstop. Joaquin Manuel could be pretty decent. Terry Irvin. So we got Ahmad Gilliam at shortstop. Ian Porter, another shortstop. Not looking too good from here. Sean McDougal. Adrian Castro, his overall is going to be too low, but he is going to have a good potential as an older dude. Amaury Delgado. Hey, remember when we had like Bobby Tom Brady and Carlos Delgado Jr. and players like that? Like 20 fucking seasons ago. There's Norm Gustafson. Might as well just go through and get our not so short list settled already. But there will be a lot of best guessing, it looks like, for us in this draft. Catcher, I hope. Like, I'm having fun with this still somehow, but I'm ready for a break, but I'm not giving up. But I am ready for a break and to just grind a shitload of Road to the Show. Play some more tape to tape. You know? Okay. Well, in terms of who our scouts think should be up next, kind of a bunch of guys in the same crop of talent. We do need a natural catcher. So Hinojosa wouldn't be that bad. Otherwise, it's starting pitcher Joaquin Manuel. And given that we have somebody, I'd prefer to end up with Manuel, but if we could risk it until the second round, that would be pretty nice. But knowing how the AI pick, I'm not going to risk it. Let's take the starter, Joaquin Manuel. Just to go for the sure thing. We have a round 1C pick, in which Ron Knapp is still available, or Dan Kohler. Catcher, all good, buddy. Appreciate you. We're going to go for Ron Knapp here. Just take a risk for the Floridian, get another reliever in there because we desperately need some. Ron Knapp, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Round 3. Irvin, Gilliam, Porter at a 77-93 shortstop. Mr. B Major. Good to see you. How are you, my friend? There's Castro at first base, but the potential's risky. I mean, not that it's risky for Porter. Major, I'm doing good. This game is still trying to ruin my life, but hey. The worst I can complain about is a video game trying to ruin my life. Then I'm not doing that bad, am I? Oh, God. Do we go for Porter? It's Porter or Castro. We take Castro now, though. It's like Delgado, Gustafson later on. I know Castro's a little bit older, but damn it. I'm still going to go for him. I like those high potential guys, even if they take forever to develop. We're going to go for Adrian Castro. Round 4. So Sixto isn't best guess. Taylor isn't best guess. Got my Pirates acronym, but it still applies. Yeah, we just lost in the playoffs again. It's been a real to-do. Honestly, 4, 5, 6. We'll take catcher Giancarlo Sixto. Giancarlo Sixto. We'll take center fielder Jim Taylor. If a confetti cannon might come out. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it. They'll win a title, and I will immediately delete the save file. Just burn it and forget all about it. We'll take Dion as a party with that late pick. Did we have a good draft? I don't fucking know, but we're about to find out. We have another home run derby participant, this time at the Trop. It's Freitas again. It's like his 3rd straight year in the home run derby because he's insane. All right. Who made the All-Star game for us last year? We had, what, 2, 3 starters? This year, not a single one. Boone Smoove is our first All-Star. Hitoki Sato makes it as the starting catcher. Wow. Okay. Dude, Justin Brown is 32? I vividly remember when we were talking about missing this guy in the draft. He's played for 14 years already. Jesus, Ricky McCann, starting shortstop. Freitas in his 11th year as well. Makes another All-Star game, and Ivan Pena makes it as well. I remember him going first overall to the Marlins, too. He's already played for 12 fucking years. All right. Signing draft picks. Let's hope that Eddie Lopez was the right decision. Let's see. Geraldo Velasquez declines the first deal. What about Azzopardi? Azzopardi signs. Taylor declines his first deal. Castro declines his first deal. Yeah, Freitas went up to a 99. Moving him to center field was the best decision we ever made. All right, that works to build up interest. All right, in terms of signing picks, Eddie Lopez signs. I don't know if we made the right choice in terms of what reliever we picked, but at least having a reliever on staff is going to help. Velasquez again declines the deal. Jim Taylor says yes. Castro says yes. Let's get Sixto in there. There we go. Still got to build up interest in a lot of these guys. Red Sox looking to get better. Of course, they had that steal of a pick not all that long ago. Keep building up interest in these guys. It might come down to the wire in terms of negotiations again. It's going to be pretty close. It's going to be pretty close. Let's keep it going. 2.5 back of the Brewers for the division. Joaquin Manuel declines his initial offer. Velasquez declines again. Not great. Got 2 more negotiating periods here. Velasquez declines again. Knapp declines. Oh my God. We're fucked. Every single... What the fuck is going on? Everyone? Everyone. Cool. We have 4 players unsigned heading into the final day. That's great. Oh, that's what we needed. Oh, isn't it? Motherfuck. Okay. And they're all the high draft picks, too. Velasquez. What a time for us to finally have players not sign with us. Velasquez refuses to sign. Fuck you. Oh my God. That's only the 3rd time in this entire franchise someone's declined to sign with us. Ron Knapp refuses to sign with us. Joaquin Manuel does sign with us. What about Sixto? Thank you. 2 players in the entire franchise mode to this point refused to sign with us. 2 players in the same class just refused to sign with us. Despite a hefty amount of money thrown their way. And again, we miss on our 1st round pick. Pain. Manuel's pretty solid. Castro's pretty solid, but again, he's older. Sixto's a big-time project. Taylor's a project. Azzopardi's a project. The guys that did sign, they're all pretty big projects, but should make it down the road. And then Lopez is just a huge disappointment. I cannot believe those 2 fucking guys refused to sign. And then old Dick Cheney over here, Cardinals' 2nd overall pick, turned out to be a generational talent. We never had a chance at drafting him. But yeah, he turned out to be a generational talent. So that's great. And it was Rich Hernandez. He was another one of the closers I was looking at. Could have gone for him. And pretty much only going to look at A potentials. Fernando. So basically any other closer, any other reliever, I would have been good to go. Any other one. I wasn't the only one to screw up a 1st round pick, though, so that's good. 2 first-round misses in a row. And then 2 players, both taken around the second round, refused to sign with us. Stefan Manuel to the Rays. Very, very good player. This entire franchise has just been one dick kick after another. Philip Ali was a great pick for Cleveland. Andy Bates is a starter. We never looked at him, but a good pickup for Detroit. Kansas City only had 2 draft picks. Houston had a real rough draft. We did still get some decent projects, but yeah, missing on the first round sucks. We will not know for sure how good those 2 guys that did not sign, we will not know how good they are until spring training. That's when they'll show up in the free agent list. So, great late pick there for Seattle with Amori Delgado. It was a pretty hit or miss draft for most teams, so given that we ended up with some good projects, I'm not that upset. But yeah, missing out on a first round pick again really sucks. Philadelphia lands David Porter. So this generalized, and that was the top overall pick there, Tom Yeager. The generalized scouting is helping us land good overall drafts, but we are suffering in the first round. So, yeah, I mean, Eddie Lopez isn't abysmal. He'll be fine, but he just won't be a monster of a reliever. We already know the contract situation. Let's look at the team. We are in first place in this division. But no mercy, no sympathy here. Maurice Burnett starting to decline. He's still been pretty solid at the plate. But again, Hitoki Sato is fantastic. Andreas Mesa is way too good for AAA. He'll be in the majors next year, as we mentioned. Fodor. Wow, Lopez has barely played. I mean, he was the one that had to suffer. Fodor has at least played well. But yeah, Lopez suffers from us having Burnett and Sato on the team. Eduardo Reyna fractured his wrist. He is not our full-time second baseman, at least. Roberson's struggling. Casey, or not Casey, but DJ Liss is an overall free fall. Okay. All right. Well, we know we have to make a change, and that'll be getting Martin Lopez back in there. I'm not going to DFA Liss, although I want to. McCann's hitting 303. Edmonds has done okay. What happened to Messer? He left a couple seasons ago. His overall declined, and he was getting paid too much money. For the most part, people are hitting well. It's just, yeah, we got to get DJ out at second base. Get Lopez in there. Better arm belongs to Fodor. So, yeah, Martin Lopez, second base, is not his preferred position, but we can play him there. We'll get him in the lineup. And hopefully he can heat up a little bit. Pitching-wise, Gill's starting to decline. Still very solid. Ronaldo Garcia, who should have been the next Johan Santana. He's not that. ERA is okay. That FIP rating's concerning. That FIP rating is very concerning. That goes to show our defense is bailing him out a lot. Trujillo. He's been okay. Adlene over a 4 ERA. FIP's about, he's been okay, average. And then Alan Dyer has also been okay. So really, oh my God, Waylon Hendricks, what the hell happened to you, buddy? I'd really prefer not to lose you, so I won't, but Jesus Christ. For the most part, we have gotten bang average pitching, which for this team should be good enough to actually win something. Yeah, in terms of relievers, Velasquez and Knapp won't show up until there's Napick, but yeah, they won't show up until next season. So, all right. Have we won the thing? No. August. It's been a bad August. 82-55. We're a game back of the Brewers as we begin the final month of the regular season. It does leave the question of who to call up. Wow, Yusnel Espinosa's actually struggled at the AAA level, whereas Chad Jones has been awesome. Hinojosa is in decline. Gutierrez is in decline. Honestly, let's go with Gutierrez and Hinojosa just to fill out the roster. Just to fill out the roster. Just trying to see if there were any other older players. I don't know how many seasons can be played. A lot is the answer, clearly. I'd rather keep Chad Jones's momentum up in AAA. We still have to call up one more person. Let's go for Ed McCann. DJ List is 74. Yep, he fell off a cliff. This was his season to fall off a cliff. We won the first game against Milwaukee 14-13. And I have to call up a pitcher to AAA. All right. High scoring games against Milwaukee, but we do win. Lose the series to Houston. Sweep Cincinnati. Sweep Minnesota. We're 2.5 up on the Brewers. Haven't clinched a spot yet. Beat Washington. Still haven't clinched a spot yet. Sweep Cleveland. We're back in the playoffs again. $95 wins. We're the second best team in the majors behind the Mariners. 3 games against the Cubs. We do lose the series. AAA team doesn't make the playoffs. AA team doesn't make the playoffs. 1.5 up on Milwaukee. 2 games against Kansas City. We win them both. That clinches us the division for the second year in a row. Mets will likely have the top record in the #1 seed. Which means we might be going up against Atlanta again. We're back in the playoffs. We are the #2 seed, and we'll play the winner of Colorado and Atlanta. But we're back. We're back. And I think that was our best regular season ever with 100 wins. One of 3 teams to do it this year alongside the Mets and Mariners. Warner Reyna will miss the first round at least. George Freitas finishes 3rd in MVP voting. Did we have anybody else? Not for anything major. Yeah, no shit, that Dan Shea guy won Rookie of the Year. Fuck's sake. Not too worried about Gold Gloves or anything like that. We are back in the playoffs, so we got to do a little bit of research with the roster to get them ready. Is this the fucking year? Please. God. I want to be done with this after tonight. Please.